Well, good evening and welcome to Chappie Field here at Anderson Stadium in Providence, home of the Providence College Friars as they get set to take on the St. John's Red Storm in Big East men's soccer action. I'm Mike Manque. So glad you could join us here on the Big East Digital Network presented by SoFi as the playoff picture starting to come into focus. Already a couple of games completed in the Big East today. Earlier in action in the conference, Marquette knocking off DePaul, still fighting for one of those final slots in the tournament. Creighton and Georgetown playing to a double overtime draw, and Butler earning a spot in the tournament by virtue of the 2-1 win over Xavier. Villanova and Seton Hall scoreless at the half right now. With a win, Seton Hall could play itself into the tournament. When you take a look at this St. John's team, one of the breakout players not only in the conference but in the country has been Tani Oluwaseyi. Oluwaseyi, 4 game-winning goals for the sophomore, leads the Big East in goals and points coming into the day, and is the first St. John's player to reach double-digit goals in a season since Simone Salino did it during the Red Storm's College Cup run back in 2003. According to his coach, he's a quick, deceptive player that could change direction on a dime and an opportunistic finisher. On the other side of the pitch for the Friars, they've been led by Paulo Lima, the sophomore from Lisbon, Portugal, leading the team with 5 goals, including 2 acrobatic finishes in the last 2 matches. One of the most exciting scorers in the Big East this season, according to his coach, has the skill set to create and execute things that other players just can't. It's senior day here in Providence as well, so a lot of excitement here in Providence. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups and the opening kick right here on the Big East Digital Network, presented by SoFi.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
Divine Providence. It's a reason why Providence is making that trajectory toward greatness.
If we get you on this campus and you just walk around for an hour or so, you're going to feel something that's qualitatively different.
Providence College is a place that has helped people think, thrive, and achieve. Divine Providence is right here. Open your eyes.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
And welcome back to Chappie Field here at Anderson Stadium in Providence. We're just moments away from the opening kick. Friars hosting the 8th-ranked St. John's Red Storm. Time to send it down to the field where Ashley Leotis is standing by with some information on tonight's goalkeepers.
Up here for St. John's. They actually use a 2-goalie system, and they have throughout the year. Now, Coach Mazur brings in Jan Hofner in the first half, and Jan coming in right now with 20 saves this year on the season. And then a set of fresh legs for the second half. He brings in Luca Gavron, who has 26 saves on the season. Now, this isn't a system that Coach Mazur has used in the past, but it is working, so they are going to roll with it. This combined duo is actually has had 9 shutouts on the year. They have the 10th highest team percentage in the nation. Now, moving over to Providence, they only have 1 goalie per game, and the same guy has started and played in every single game this season. I am talking about Austin Aviza, the senior. He actually was honored here for senior night tonight, which is incredible. He's actually spent a little bit of time over at Syracuse and UConn, only played 1 season with the Friars, and Coach Stewart tells me he's really that calming voice that the team really needs. Coming in with 33 saves on this season. That ranks 2nd in the Big East. He actually ranks 2nd in the Big East when it comes to shutouts. He's had 6 on the season already. So this is going to be a very interesting matchup right here in Providence tonight. We're bringing you all that game action right here from the sidelines. But for now, Mike, let's send it back to you.
And thank you, Ashley, for that report on tonight's goalkeeper. Should be interesting to see how that all plays out. Take a look there at the teams getting ready for the opening kick. The Friars and the home whites with the gray striping. Black numerals will be advancing from right to left across your screen here in the first half. St. John's and the Road Reds with blue striping will be moving the ball from left to right. And we are underway here at Chappie Field and Anderson Stadium. The 33rd all-time meeting between these two teams, a series that goes back to 1987. The Friars 6-0-1 since the Big East realignment back in 2013. And you have to go all the way back to 2009 for the last time St. John's came out on top over the Friars. Again, seeding for the tournament already locked up for both sides. St. John's will be the number 2 seed. The Friars will be the number 3 seed. And will host the game here on Saturday afternoon. St. John's will have to wait until the Big East semifinals, which will be played next week. The Friars on the attack first here. As they try to work down that far flank, Christopher Roman stepping up. And he'll work with Danny Griffin, one of the 7 players honored for Senior Day earlier tonight. And Coach Stewart very high on this group of players honored, especially the ones that came in as freshmen and have been here the entire time, have really had a huge impact on the program. And they've been striving to get back to that NCAA tournament. Perhaps this will be the year once again. Just a quality bunch of guys. Very good relationships with their teammates and coaches. Well liked on campus as well. Everything you want. Here's Lima, the quick shot, and that one is handled by Jan Holfner, the junior from Frankfurt, Germany. Again, part of the goalkeeper tandem of Holfner and Gavrin. Our head coach, Dr. Dave Major, now in his 29th season at the helm of the Red Storm. Led the Johnnies to the 1996 NCAA championship title. And has led them to 20 NCAA appearances as well. One of the most respected coaches in the country. Well, St. John's now on the attack. They'll work it down to the far side. Roman able to get a foot to it now for Thiago Mendonça, who's harassed by Skage Simonsen. Einar Lai couldn't quite get the handle on it. Now back the other way comes Kevin Vang and the Friars. They'll outlet to the near side for Serrano. Jal Serrano, the quarterback and leader of the team, one of the captains this season. So many of those intangibles, the qualities that makes a great leader on the field. His coach has referred to him as like having another coach on the pitch at all times. Here's Trevor DeVoke leading it ahead for Danny Griffin. As he tries to settle, it's going to be knocked away for Simonsen. His pass redirected, though. Roman able to step up, finds DeVoke. Little heel touch for Griffin on the run. Here's Espen Wolf. Into the 18, across, and that one's going to be knocked aside by Matt Chandler. And a wade up the near sideline, handled by Serrano. Lima loses the battle that time with Simonsen. Simonsen, the big 6'3", 200-pound Norwegian, last year's Big East Freshman of the Year. Certainly a talent for head coach Major. As Austin Avisa swings it out wide for Serrano. Back for Ramsey Kawasmi. Kawasmi, a reigning Big East Defender of the Week, had the game winner last week as the Friars coming back in dramatic fashion in the late stages against Xavier for the 2-1 victory. On the run now, targeting Griffin, and off his line is Holfner. And gives him a little extra shove, unnecessary in my opinion, and in the opinion of the official as well, as he points the finger at Holfner. Holfner will advance everybody up the field. And we're just about 4 minutes into the first half. Now he'll drop it down. Some light pressure from DeVoke. And a casual chip up the field, headed down by Lima. Well, that one will trail out of bounds. Throwing upcoming for Brandon Duarte, a senior from Mississauga, Ontario. Duarte will survey the scene. Had one of the 4 goals by the Red Storm in this weekend's win, 4-2 victory over DePaul. Played out wide off the foot of Holfner. And then one in the midfield by Malcolm Duncan. Settling the second ball, however, is Einar Lai. Lai will check over his options. Some pressure from Lima. He'll drop it all the way back now for Luke Hansen. Hansen with some space to work with. Finds Oluwaseyi in the middle of the field. Now spinning around was Josiah Crawford. Cheating up comes Bustamante. Working off the far side, Jared Julo. Now centrally for Knapp. Brandon Knapp plays it up towards the 18, headed down by Lima. And the left-footed shot, a little bit of a shank that time from Josiah Crawford, and kind of shaking his leg out after that hit. Didn't get it cleanly. As Austin Aviza gets set for the goal kick, there's a look at Josiah Crawford. 1 goal so far on the season for the sophomore from Berkeley Heights, New Jersey. Aviza, as Ashley had mentioned, spent some time at Syracuse and UConn before settling in here at Providence this year. St. John's on the attack through Simonson. His pass off the mark, Kawasmi there for the Friars. Now back for Serrano. Serrano will send it up the field. First touch one in the air by Matt Chandler, sent right back by DeVoke for Espen Wolf. Wolf now trying to work on the sidelines and is run out of bounds that time by Brandon Duarte. And it will go to the Red Storm. 6 minutes in here in Providence. Glad you could join us on the Big East Digital Network presented by SoFi. Again, nothing will change in terms of the seeding for the Big East tournament. However, certainly could have an impact on the RPI for both sides. As St. John's looking a little bit more further ahead at some seeding for the NCAA tournament. And the last rankings released by the selection committee, St. John's coming in at number 7 as a possible seed for the big dance this year. Should the Friars come out on top, they're looking at hopefully getting in the picture of an at-large bid if they can't come up with a Big East title later this week. Mendonça taken down on the far side. And they're going to say no foul, just a throw-in upcoming for St. John's. It'll be taken by Jared Julo. Julo looks up ahead, able to find Simonson. Serrano able to control for the Friars. We'll leave it back for Kawasmi. And now out wide, Malcolm Duncan. Up ahead, looking for DeVoke in the corner, and they're going to say offsides was DeVoke. DeVoke, the redshirt senior out of Medway, Massachusetts, spent the majority of his career at Boston College. Does have game-winning goals against Albany and UConn this season. As it gets played wide for Bustamante, a junior out of Corona, New York. Will get it back and work from his left back spot. Good patience here out of St. John's. Simonson plays it up ahead towards the box, and off his line was Aviza. As trailing into the box that time was Tani Olawashai, the league's leading scorer coming into tonight. Had a fantastic goal against DePaul. It was the first of the match. Came in the 36th minute of that one, the previous game last weekend. Really come into his own as a sophomore this year. Battled some injuries early on in the season. Serrano able to push it forward for Griffin. Quick touch for Vang. Passes it along for Mendonça. Now the through ball coming through Griffin, but unable to win the foot race with Hansen. And a tough touch that time by Holfner. As putting him under pressure, Danny Griffin, the senior. And it's going to be a corner kick, the first of the night. And Holfner playing some shenanigans here, holding on to the ball, not releasing it for the Friars. You want to get set up here. Take another look. The pass back that time from Hansen, and Holfner just a little too casual and quite frankly lucky he didn't give up something worse than a corner kick there. Friars will go short. Serrano now into the 18, across to the back of the 6, headed down. Mendonça chance, the bicycle, and just over the net. Thiago Mendonça, big smile on his face, lined it up perfectly. Oh, so close. We'll take another look. The head down from Roman, plays it to himself, and just over the crossbar. Looked like Holfner had a pretty good beat on it as well. The Friars have had some high-flying goals as of late. Of course, Paulo Lima's game winner against Creighton a couple weeks ago, and then Lima again last week. going high to knock one in against Xavier. That one in the 81st minute. As the Friars, again, 2 goals in the final 10 minutes to pull out the come-from-behind 2-1 win. This one's going to go off the Friars for a St. John's throw. Trailing back to take it will be Duarte. Duarte, one of the players wearing the captain's armband this year for Coach Mazur. He'll look up ahead. Fires it in for Simonson. Lima able to step up into the play. Up ahead for Wolf. The touch for DeVoe. Gets it back. Wolf to the corner if he can get there. Plays it across. Bustamante chests it back down to his netminder Holfner. And so far the Friars, it's a little bit more pressure as Holfner getting frustrated out there, saying DeVoe was impeding his progress as he tried to release at the top of the box, but Friars slowly getting into the mind of Jan Holfner early on. A big boot up ahead into the night sky in Providence. Off the head of Simonson. Will be collected now by Wolf. He'll blast it ahead with the left foot. Off the shoulder of DeVoe with the second ball down to Hansen. Luke Hansen now ahead for Simonson. Plays it forward, but nobody there. Easy scoop for Avisa. Quick rollout for Malcolm Duncan. And he'll release forward now for Griffin. Griffin sporting the new haircut for Senior Day. As he leaves it off for Kevin Vang, now Serrano joining the fun. Serrano plays it up towards the 18, and once again Holfner able to reach up and snag that one out of the air. DeVoe is not going to let him put it on the turf. And again, you can see DeVoe just getting into the head of Holfner. As he will put it on the ground this time. Chip up ahead through the middle of the field. Lima able to win the battle at Simonson. Vang settles for Mendonça. He'll swing it wide for Malcolm Duncan. Now some pressure from Crawford. All the way back it goes for Avisa. He'll lift it forward. Winning in the air was Knapp. And then a tough challenge as Roman went down hard after the battle with Julo. Roman seems to be no worse for the wear. Lima now under some pressure from Olivashai. He uses netminder. The outlet now for Serrano. Up ahead it comes DeVoe, able to turn into space. Fires it off the outside of the foot for Roman. Now Roman forward looking for Griffin, but stepping up was Chandler. The big 6'6", 200-pounder from Toronto. And that one off of Roman for St. John's throw. Red Storm still looking for its first shot of the match. The Friars with 2. One of them on goal so far as we get a quick foul on Paulo Lima as he got tangled up with Skage Simonson. Simonson team's okay. Quick restart here for St. John's. Bustamante will chip it on up, looking to the corner. Turning it out of harm's way was Duncan as he blasts it towards the crowd here at Chappie Field. Last year, the Friars knocking off St. John's not once but twice, both by 1-0 scores. Once in the regular season and then again in the Big East tournament. Simonson trying to put it on net and just off the side netting. A dangerous look there from Skage Simonson. Leads the team in assists, but has the propensity to find the back of the net as well. Just out-muscling a couple of Friars there before releasing that nasty right-footed shot. Avisa might have had it covered. But Simonson not missing by much. Such a fantastic talent for the Red Storm. Back in play it comes off the foot of Austin Avisa. And just over the head of Roman, who's trying to flick it on for Mendonça. Jared Julo. Toss it up ahead. Simonson, the quick touch. Snap forwards it up to Olivashai. And now Lai will leave it wide for Duarte. Duarte crosses it in. That one's going to be turned aside by Serrano. Duarte once again back for Lai. Vang able to steal it away. Now the Friars trying to get the counter going. Danny Griffin leaves it out wide for DeVoke. DeVoke now with some space, turns on the Jets. Into the 18 he goes, trying to get a better angle. Misses his target, Mendonça, but Roman there to clean it up. Looks for Mendonça inside the box. Roman now trying to enter. He's turned aside by Julo. And back the other way comes St. John's. Serrano able to play it back for Aviza. Oluwaseyi with some pressure, and Aviza a little too heavy touch that time. As he knocks it over the head of his left back, Serrano. Quick update in the other game in progress. Villanova with a 1-0 lead right now over Seton Hall. That would knock Seton Hall out of the playoffs. Seton Hall needing to win that game to advance into the Big East tournament. Villanova, no chance of making it. They've already been eliminated, but certainly plays spoiler tonight. Oluwaseyi, the target, tried to leave it back for the oncoming Crawford, but Friars able to turn it back the other way. Lima plays it ahead for Vang. Vang will wait for reinforcements. Lima now over for Serrano. Vang centrally will take some space. Tough pass for Mendonça, stepping up was Bustamante. Oluwaseyi now forced to go back for Julo. Julo again back now from Brandon Knapp. Up ahead it comes. Crawford the target. The Friars turn it back the other side. Mendonça can't quite keep it in. Brings us to another throw in for St. John's. A long toss that time, but well over the head of everyone. Kawasmi pops it on over for Duncan. Now lays it forward for Roman. Roman with some pace. And the double deflection will result in another St. John's throw. 28 minutes to go here in the first half, and some frustration across the field. We've seen it a couple times now out of Hoffner. This time it's Jared Julo, who was sent back a couple of yards on the throw-in, slamming it into the turf. Simonson couldn't quite get it over Lima, and now Vang will settle once again. Working through the middle, Josiah Crawford leaves it wide for Duarte. He'll use his man of support, Luke Hansen. And now towards the 18, Oluwaseyi with Bustamante cheating up. Julo in the corner. Towards the 6, and Aviza able to go up and snag that one out of the air. Had Duarte and Oluwaseyi in the vicinity, but Aviza able to go up strong that time for the Friars. Take a look at this cross from Jared Julo, the freshman. And Aviza using all of that 6'3" frame to secure that. DeVoke. I think he called for a push in that battle that time with Knapp. So a restart here for St. John's. They'll leave it back for Chandler. Out wide it comes now, Luke Hansen. Hansen up ahead, Lima. And DeVoke hit from behind that time. Luke Hansen with the aggressive challenge in the air. After another acrobatic play from Paulo Lima. It's a bit chilly here in Providence tonight. Game time temps starting in the 40s. By the end of this one, will be in the high 30s. But no precipitation here tonight after a very rainy day in Providence yesterday. The field in perfect condition. No signs of all that rain from yesterday as Kawasmi settles. Aviza now trying to chip it over Duarte. Not a great hit there from Aviza. Oluwaseyi, don't want to give him any space if you're the Friars. He'll use Simonson. And into the corner it went. Julo didn't make the run, and frustration for both Crawford and Julo that time, as it'll be a goal kick for the Friars. And talking to both coaches today, wondering with them both having their seeds locked in already, and not having to worry about playing themselves into the tournament. How would they approach this game? And both said business as usual. They want to win. And they weren't going to hold anything back here today. It's on the far side. Christopher Roman. Mendonça playing it up ahead. Griffin on the run. Bustamante able to beat him to it. And it'll be sent towards the sideline. They're going to say deflected off a Friar for St. John's throw. Julo looking over his options. Calling some players back as they were a little bit too far down the field. As he continues to inch up, he'll use Knapp. Knapp surrounded by a trio of Friars, goes back for Julo, and Julo knocks it out of bounds. St. John's looking a little bit out of sync here at times in this first half. The Friars have been more the aggressor here in the first 20 minutes and change. Again, Providence has really owned this rivalry over the last couple of years. As they work it over for Serrano. Towards the 18 it comes. And then chipped up ahead by Julo, trying to flick it on. Simonson loses the handle to Duncan. Bustamante. And Roman coming with a high tackle. And draw the ire of the official and the St. John's players as well. Slow to get up this time, Jared Julo. And the freshman from Stamford, Connecticut, making his 9th start of the season. He's played in 15 of the previous 16 games for the Red Storm. Bustamante will get set to restart this one as we approach the midway point of the first half. Still scoreless in Providence. Simonson trying to flick it on. Crawford. Olawashai cuts through and hammers it off of Duncan. Roman able to keep it in play and then blasts it forward towards midfield. All the way back now to the foot of Matt Chandler. Roman stepping up. Now Lima turning it back the other way and going to have a delayed call against St. John's. Serrano plays it for Mendonça. Mendonça off of Duarte as those two get tangled up, and then the foul on Mendonça. And they're going to deny the quick restart, saying the ball was still moving that time. So St. John's will have to get it back in play once again. Simonson in a spirited conversation here with the official. Brandon Knapp looking to get this one back in play. St. John's pushing numbers forward here towards the top of the 18. Mendonça wins it in the air. Olawashai trying to play it for Duarte, who's cheated up. Duarte has it taken away by Wolf. Knapp there. Cuts it back. Headed away by Serrano now for Vang. Didn't get a solid touch. Here's Einar Lai. He'll play it towards the 18. Awayed by Lima. And all the way across the field for Bustamante. Delivers it into the corner. An open Julo. Julo plays it across, and Kawasmi got to it first, but knocked it out for a corner kick. And that will be the first St. John's corner of the night. So after a somewhat slow start for the Red Storm, things starting to pick up here in the last minute or two. And St. John's on the season averaging over 2 goals per contest. Have outscored their opponents 35-11. Friars have conceded 15 goals on the year. The in-swinger corner. Punched out by Avisa and somehow wound up in the midst of Avisa after it deflected off a couple of players. So fortuitous bounce there for Providence. Now we're going to send it down the field level to Ashley Leotis, who's standing by with a quick update.
Hey, Mike, yeah, you mentioned the St. John's offense kind of being a little bit out of sync. That's usually not the case when we see them. This time last year, right at the end of the season, a total of 5 guys had scored all season long. Right now, that number is at 14. 14 guys already scored this year.
And thank you, Ashley. Ashley, correct as usual. As the St. John's team just has looked a little bit out of sync throughout this contest as we see some contact in the middle of the field. DeVoke knocked down by Bustamante, no call. .19.5 to go here in the first half. Bustamante lays it up ahead, but well past everybody. And again, another example of St. John's just being out of sync here. Again, they will have about a week off until their next game. The Friars will be back in action on Saturday for a noon start. And their Big East first round game. Opponent yet to be determined, but we should know that soon. All the way back, Kawasmi for Avisa. Pops it up, and Roman having to wait on it. Challenged that time by Julo. Mendonça able to steal it away. He'll leave it for Roman. Trevor DeVoke will hold. Roman joining the play in the midfield now. Up comes Serrano. Plays it through for Lima. Through the 18, but a little bit too much there. Lima's fast, but he's not that fast. Couldn't quite catch up with that one. Good idea, though, however, from the captain Serrano. Looking for his countryman, Paulo Lima. And the team's leading goal scorer with 5 on the year. Serrano, the leading point scorer. So he's got 4 goals and 5 assists so far. Jan Holfner now lining it up for the goal kick with about 18 minutes left in the first half. Shots hard to come by for both sides. 2 for each team. And the Friars with the only shot on goal so far. St. John's yet to register one. It's not a surprise for Providence. They are 3rd nationally when it comes to total shots. They average 18 per game. Also average almost 7 corner kicks per contest. The ball ping-ponging around in the middle third of the field. Griffin going high, but getting extra leverage with the arm. And Einar Lai not too happy about it, but got the call. Bustamante now with some space on the far touchline. Leaves it off for Julo. Julo trying to cut back on Roman, lost his footing. Now Griffin off the backside of Bustamante. The Friars will set up for a throw. Christopher Roman. And they'll move him back a couple of feet. Now the throw from Roman. Mendonça back for DeVoke, who pops it forward. Sent back to Holfner from Chandler. And Holfner will survey the scene. Jan Holfner, the junior from Frankfurt, Germany, a .47 goals against average, an .833 save percentage. Leads the Big East in goals against average. And a 2nd when it comes to save percentage. Here's Mendonça in the middle of the field. We'll lay it square for Serrano. Back ahead for Mendonça, able to stretch out and hold on to that one. Lima now cuts past one. I'll drop it off for Duncan. Pressure from Lai, but they're able to work it for Kevin Vang. He'll use Serrano. Wolf now heels to the touchline, trying to cut in towards the middle. To the top of the box it goes. Trevor DeVoke over for Griffin. Griffin can't quite get the shot off. DeVoke couldn't pull the trigger. Body's falling down as Julo went down inside the 18. Play continues, though, here at Chappie Field. Kawasmi. The Friars very proficient and working it through their backs. to generate their offensive attacks. DeVoke, a nice turn on his man, gets into the 18, just in front of Wolf. And it's cleared out to Serrano, who swings it wide for Malcolm Duncan. Cross it goes now for Mendonça as he has it hammered away off the foot of Brandon Knapp. And we're going to have our first change of the match. It'll be the Friars making the first change. Gil Santos, sophomore from Portugal, member of last year's Big East All-Rookie team, comes in to give Trevor DeVoke a rest. Throw in there for Santos, who on multiple occasions this season has provided a spark off the bench. Has great speed, pace, and touch. Lima forced all the way back to his keeper. Avisa will leave it off for Serrano. On the line for Griffin. Now sends it wide, a nice bending ball for Mendonça or Roman. It'll be Mendonça who gets there first. He'll leave it back for Roman. As the Friars try to get some numbers forward, Griffin now spins it back towards the middle. Kevin Vang back for Griffin, over for Mendonça, lost his footing and cleared away to Olawashai. They'd love to get him on a sprint against Kawasmi, but Kawasmi there to head it away. And around it goes. Bustamante now able to settle. Pushes it forward for Olawashai. Into the middle now for Simonson. Mendonça with the touch. Roman able to knock it forward. And a tough pass. Duarte able to step up. Duarte now towards the top of the box. Olawashai leaves it wide. Julo, who cheated up towards the 18. Kawasmi there for the Friars to knock it away. Knapp sending it towards the top of the box. And Serrano, nifty little play to head it back to Avisa to keep possession for the Friars. So we're under 13 minutes to go here in half number one. Again, glad you could join us here on the Big East Digital Network, presented by SoFi. Off a line drive punt from Avisa. Mendonça able to chest it on over for Roman. Gil Santos now getting his first touches since checking in. And Mendonça trying to target Santos that time, but out of play for a Bustamante throw. Quickly off the head of Julo, but again, nobody there for St. John's. Kawasmi goes centrally for Serrano. Now some pressure from Einar Lai. Now Roman trying to play it off of Julo. Crawford trying to sneak through, but has it taken away by Lima. Ramsey Kawasmi now will blast it forward. Settled by Hansen and all the way back for Holfner. Holfner has to boot it back up the field. Mendonça wins the initial ball. Santos gets the second, but a heavy touch. And it winds up on the foot of Olawashai. Simonson now trying to hold off Mendonça. Duarte into the corner, has Simonson. Mendonça hanging all over him, and Simonson able to earn the corner kick. It'll be the second corner of the night for St. John's. Their first from the near side corner. And they will take their time in setting this one up. Looks to be Julo who will come over to the near side to take it. And St. John's still looking for its first shot on goal. Friars with just one to this point. And what's been a game played mostly between the 18s. Towards the 18 it comes, headed away by the Friars. Getting up with Serrano to knock it out of the box. Lai plays it out for a throw-in. It's a little bit out of sync that time. Is checking back in now for the Friars will be Davis Smith, the junior from Amherst, Massachusetts. Transferred from UMass Has 4 goals, 4 assists on the season. And provides a big target up front with that 6'7" frame. Doubleheader there by the Friars, Davis and Griffin. Lima's pass a little off the mark. Simonson will lay it off for Duarte. Crawford has Lai. They'll keep it moving to the far side. Knapp, and now Julo. It comes up ahead. Santos will work it up the far sideline. Santos uses his speed, gets around 1, gets around 2, leaves it wide for Espen Wolf in transition. Nice head ball to knock it forward. Staying in stride as Wolf tried to cut it back for Lima. It eventually got there. Lima now cutting back towards the 18, and he's chopped down. Brandon Duarte clipping the heels of Lima after Lima had already gotten past him. And it'll give the Friars a free kick in a pretty good spot. Here's a look at the foul, and yeah, no doubt about it there. Leg coming from behind and clipping Paulo Lima. No dissent out of Duarte, he knew it. Sets up a good opportunity here though for Providence as Joao Serrano. Take a look at this. The magic spray has made its mark. The wall has been set. A one-man wall from Oluwashai. Serrano gets ready to send this one into the mixer. Across it comes and headed away. Danny Griffin able to settle for the Friars, but has to go all the way back for Duncan. Light pressure from Crawford. Duncan will look to the corner for Santos. Danny Griffin getting to the 18 and knocked aside by Hansen. Lima able to keep it forward for Santos again. Gil Santos towards the 18. Kawasmi there, back for Mendonça, but pass never made it as it was knocked aside by Luke Hansen. Mendonça, though, able to take it off the foot of Oluwashai, and it'll be a Providence throw. Under 8 to play in the first half. Throw this time will be taken by Espen Wolf. One in the air by Smith, and they're going to get Smith for a foul as he battled with Duarte. Again, the St. John senior class has never beaten Providence. Looking to try to get that elusive victory over the Friars. Up ahead it comes, Einar Lai. Leaves it wide for Hansen. Hansen now will try to take some space, fending off Smith, and Smith shoving him down, no call. And back the other way comes Providence. Danny Griffin able to dance out of trouble, leaves it back for Serrano. All the way back, nearly a dangerous ball there with Oluwashai in the vicinity, but it found its mark in Avisa. Up ahead, Santos trying to flick it on forward. Stepping into it was Matt Chandler again. And Duncan able to knock it towards midfield where it'll go out of bounds for a St. John's throw. Quickly back in by Bustamante, but Kawasmi there for Providence. Julo now with some space. Has his pass denied by Duncan. Lima there as well for the Friars to disrupt. Just over 6 minutes left. Villanova with a 1-0 lead, still over Seton Hall in the other matchup in progress. Seton Hall needing to win to make the Big East tournament. And that one takes a couple deflections into the midst of Avisa. Avisa in the right place at the right time on that occasion. Here's Davis Smith leaving it for Griffin. Griffin with plenty of space to work with. Leaves it wide for Roman. Roman in the corner. He'll send it towards the 18, but right at Holfner. Didn't give his teammates much of a chance that time as Holfner quickly off his line. We're going to send it down once again to field level to Ashley Leotis, who's standing by with another update.
Hey, Mike, I wanted to get back to a little bit of the lack of the offensive production on the hands of St. John's. We've been talking about a little bit Tanny Oluwaseyi and Skage Simonson. We've heard their names a lot, but usually these are two of their top guys who are producing some of that action. Skage Simonson with 6 assists on the season, and get this number, out of those 6 assists, 5 of those have been goals scored by Tanny. Quite the dynamic duo alongside their goalies, but Tanny is leading the Big East in shots with 35.
Yeah, and it is surprising, Ashley, that St. John's still without a shot on goal as Bustamante plays it forward. Lima up ahead for Santos. Lima now forced to go all the way back for Kawasmi. And now back on over for Serrano. Espen Wolf up ahead for Mendonça. Mendonça now on the run. Plays it for Smith. The touch just eluding Roman, who had cheated up. Danny Griffin now leaves it wide. Santos gets Julo to jump up, plays it across, headed out of play by Chandler, and it'll be a corner kick for the Friars. As the Friars getting dangerous here in the closing minutes of the first half. The second corner kick of the night now for Providence. And they'll look to their captain, Joao Serrano, to head over to that far side to take it. For those of you watching the Friars this year, he has the ability to knock that one straight into the net. Did so against Seton Hall earlier, curled it right inside the near post. We'll see where he elects to hit it this time. A couple runners now towards the 6. And that one headed away by Knapp. Serrano back in a cross, but right into the arms of Holfner. And again, Holfner, you can see him getting frustrated with the Friars, who have tried to take away his ability to get those quick outlets out. Serrano, nice soft header for Kawasmi. And now he'll look forward for Davis Smith. Stepping up nicely, though, was Hansen. Mendonça. With Santos now, trying to get to that corner again. Stood up that time by Chandler. Mendonça now, switching the point of attack for Wolf. Wolf will track it down, and Duarte there to step in and knock it out of play. It will stay with the Friars, though. Serrano, the quick throw for Kawasmi. He'll use his outlet, the keeper, Avisa. He now swings it back for Serrano. Back to the middle of the field for Mendonça, and he'll swing it wide for Malcolm Duncan. Up ahead for Roman. Roman on the run, top of the box. Smith held off the play that time by Luke Hansen. And Hansen doing just enough to slow down Davis Smith and just enough to not pick up the foul. And Serrano once again heads it back to Avisa. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Friars and Red Storm scoreless. St. John's without a shot on goal to this point, as Davis Smith is hacked down by Luke Hansen. Quick restart by Lima. Now Santos on the run. Santos with Julo to beat. Gains entry into the 18. And that one off the foot of Chandler, a miss hit. He knew it right away. Now Santos does have a long toss, so this could be dangerous here for the Friars. With under 90 to go, decides to go short this time for Roman. Roman, Griffin, and now back for Santos. Santos plays it across, and once again, Holfner in the same exact spot at the top of the 6. They're able to grab it without much trouble. Holfner, a commanding presence in between the pipes for St. John's.
1 minute remaining in the first half.
Lift it forward for Oluwaseyi. Crawford to nobody that time except Christopher Roman. Again, things just a little bit disjointed on the offensive end for St. John's tonight, as the Friars missed the connection with Espen Wolf. About 40 seconds left here in the first half. Simonson will use Duarte. Perhaps one last push here for St. John's. Serrano there to knock it down, but right to Crawford. And chipped up towards the net, and a more dangerous ball than it looked at first as Avisa is a little bit out of his net. St. John's is going to have to hurry here with just 20 seconds left in the half. Be a corner from the far side. Here's another look at the last shot from Crawford. Nice soft touch that time, and Avisa forced to go up and parry it over. Here it comes, final 10 seconds. To the far post, Santos able to clear it out.
3, 2, 1.
And that's how the half will end. Scoreless in Providence through 45. Providence defense has shown up in a big way, not allowing a single shot on goal through the first 45, although I guess that last one would have to count as a shot on goal as Avisa able to knock it over. So time for us to step aside. We'll be back with more from Chappie Field here in Providence. This is the Big East Digital Network presented by SoFi.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
Divine Providence. It's a reason why Providence is making that trajectory toward greatness.
If we get you on this campus and you just walk around for an hour or so, you're going to feel something that's qualitatively different.
Providence College is a place that has helped people think, thrive, and achieve. Divine Providence is right here. Open your eyes.
When my time came to stop coaching, I was very fortunate that I didn't have to go cold turkey. I was able to start the Big East Conference, and we came across the sky like a meteor.
One recruiting year that they had that really turned everything around was the Ewan Mullen Pinckney recruiting year. It changed the face of Eastern basketball probably forever.
We just believed in ourselves and a lot of hard work on everybody's part.
Every March, Madison Square Garden is home to everything that is college basketball.
Put on your red shoes and dance the blues.
What? How's the weather? Yeah. It's snowing out. It's a blizzard, but we ain't gonna stop.
Rightly, there were questions early on about whether the Big East could withstand the test of reconfiguration, and I think if you were here, we've done that and more.
It's a monster league now. Last man standing, bring the flag. Tough to coach in, but great for spectators and great to play in. The march of the Big East goes on.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
Divine Providence. It's a reason why Providence is making that trajectory toward greatness.
If we get you on this campus and you just walk around for an hour or so, you're going to feel something that's qualitatively different.
Providence College is a place that has helped people think, thrive, and achieve. Divine Providence is right here. Open your eyes.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
And welcome back to Chappie Field here at Anderson Stadium in Providence. We're at the half. The 8th-ranked team in the nation, St. John's, locked up in a 0-0 draw with the host Friars. Time to look at some of the highlights from the first half. There weren't a ton, as there weren't a ton of shots, but the Friars nearly sneaking one in early. Paulo Lima, the header, handled by Jan Holfner. Then Serrano putting it across on the other end. Mendonça going for the bicycle and not missing by much. Even though the little wave from Holfner that time, one of the more dangerous opportunities for the Friars. Skage Simonsen trying to unleash the big right foot, hitting the side netting, but the wrong side of the pipe. And then the best chance in the closing minutes, Josiah Crawford has it parried over the bar by Avisa, who was nearly caught out of position. Now we take a look at those stats through the first 45 minutes. Only 5 total shots, 3 for St. John's, 2 for the Friars, each team notching 1 shot on goal, 1 save for each keeper. Fouls about even, as well as are the corner kicks, and the Friars with just 1 offsides call, as we are still scoreless at the half. And of course, it's that time of year across the Big East, and that means fall championships. A couple of championships already determined. Congratulations to the Butler Bulldogs, the Big East women's cross-country champions, and their men's counterparts winning the title this year, the Villanova Wildcats, with that impressive win. Again, the Big East men's soccer championships kick off this weekend on Saturday. Time for us to step aside one more time. We'll be back with more from the half in Providence. This is the Big East Digital Network, presented by SoFi.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
Divine Providence. It's a reason why Providence is making that trajectory toward greatness.
If we get you on this campus and you just walk around for an hour or so, you're going to feel something that's qualitatively different.
Providence College is a place that has helped people think, thrive, and achieve. Divine Providence is right here. open your eyes.
One of the positives about the sports business in the last couple of years, and in recent years in particular, has been the growing interest in seeing our industry become a more diverse and inclusive place.
I find it important for us to amplify the voices of those who have not traditionally had a seat at the table. As a Black African woman, my various social identities are always at the forefront of my daily interactions, from my first name, my culture, to where I'm from. So for me, diversity is about us celebrating our uniqueness as a society.
A lot of what happens in terms of diversifying workforce in the college world happens at the campus level. That's really where the core hiring takes place. The schools are responsible for hiring their directors of athletics, their staffs, their coaches. And so the conference is really a step away from that activity, but I think conferences can and should set a tone. And so in the Big East, we have tried to make diversity and inclusion a conference strategic priority. We have, for example, within our conference SAC group, designated a diversity and inclusion officer. D&I has become an important topic of discussion at SAC meetings. And our D&I officer is now included into the conference-wide diversity and inclusion working group that we've created.
I currently serve as the conference's Student Athlete Advisory Committee's Diversity and Inclusion Officer. This position is charged with ensuring that the conference carries out its commitment to inclusion for all. And I assist the conference staff in creating opportunities for student athletes from different backgrounds to come together to share and exchange ideas. I also work closely with the Big East Diversity and Inclusion Working Group.
You know, when I think about diversity, I think about the fact that diversity is a fact. When we think about inclusion, we think about inclusion being a choice. And I think if we can succeed in anything at the Big East is to impress upon everyone how inclusion isn't just a choice but a responsibility.
The Big East is committed to continuing the development of programs and initiatives that support diverse and inclusive environments.
And welcome back to Friartown, just a couple minutes away from the start of the second half, but time to take a look at the week that was in Big East men's soccer. We'll take a look at our weekly awards presented last week, the Big East Honor Roll, and a couple familiar faces there. Paulo Lima in tonight's game, as is Tani Olawashai, both making the Big East Honor Roll for their performances last week. Each had a goal over the weekend. And then to the bigger awards, the Defensive Player of the Week, another familiar face, Ramsey Kowasmi, a sophomore for the Friars, had the game-winning goal against Xavier. And then the Big East Offensive Player of the Week, Carlton McKenzie, for the Seton Hall Pirates. And finally, Jake Ashford, the defender for the Blue Jays, as the freshman of the week. And Thomas Romero, the Hoyas, outstanding netminder with 5 shutouts already this season and a perfect 7-0-0 record. And of course, lots of championships in action. The Big East Volleyball Championships semifinals and final coming up November 29th and 30th at the Al McGuire Center in Milwaukee. You can get your tickets by going online or by calling the Marquette ticket office at 414-288-4668. And as we're getting closer to the start of the second half, time to send it on down to field level, where Ashley's standing by with a halftime update.
Not a Ton of action in that first half. We're anticipating a little bit more kind of on both sides here in the second half, but I was able to speak with both coaches during halftime, and Coach Stewart with Providence told me that they need to clean up their possessions and kind of create some more chances for their team. And on the other side, Coach Mazer told me that they need to be careful when Providence presses high, and also they need to keep that back line together. Again, guys, anticipating a little bit more action here in the second. We'll see who can squeak this one out here in the second half. Mike.
And thank you, Ashley. Outstanding reporting once again here in Providence. Another final score to report. Villanova 1, Seton Hall 0. And what that means, Marquette will be the number 6 seed in the Big East tournament and will take on the Friars here in Providence on Saturday afternoon at 12. The 4-5 game will pit Creighton against Butler for another fantastic rivalry game. And, of course, Georgetown securing the number 1 seed and St. John's the number 2 already. So now the Friars know that they will host Marquette, but still some business to take care of here at home as they try to knock off the number 8 team in the country and help solidify a perhaps NCAA tournament-worthy resume should they not be able to win the Big East tournament. A win over St. John's would go a long way, and for St. John's, again, business as usual as they are trying to knock off the Friars for the first time since 2009. And a bit of a twist here tonight. Looks like Jan Holfner will stay in goal for the second half. Coach Mazer had been rotating both him and Gavrin all season long for the most part. But Holfner will stay in there. Perhaps that's because of some of the cold temperatures out here tonight. Maybe didn't feel that they could get Gavrin warmed up well enough. So the Friars will advance from left to right across your screen here in the second half. Again, the home whites, gray striping, black numerals. St. John's, the road reds, blue striping, and white numerals from right to left here in the second half. And shots hard to come by for either side. The Friars, third best nationally when it comes to total shots per game at 18, only with 3. Actually, with only 2 in the first half. It was St. John's able to muster 3 in the first 45. So the Friars well below their season average in terms of shots per game. About 7 less than they usually get in a half. It'll be Espen Wolf on the far side, as the Friars have returned to their starting 11. As Danny Griffin will leave it back for Malcolm Duncan. Duncan lays it off for Christopher Roman. Now ahead for DeVoe. DeVoe trying to turn the corner, but Bustamante there to stand him up. Back it goes for Chandler. Lifts it towards Oluwaseyi, headed back by Kawasmi. Lima winds up with it on the foot of Mendonça. And a tough challenge by Mendonça, more of an accidental challenge that time, as he simply turned around and Knapp was there. And wow, they're going to give him a yellow card for that. That's a tough break for the Friars. Take another look. Mendonça turns, and he holds up almost completely. Not much there to warrant a yellow card in my opinion, but the Providence captain has been booked here just about a minute and a half into the second half. As Brandon Knapp, sophomore from Abington, Maryland, is up and seems to be okay. So it'll be a restart for Holfner and the Red Storm. As again, both teams trying to break this 0-0 deadlock. Holfner now. I'll lay this one up ahead. Mendonça. And then Roman to the near sideline, but DeVoe couldn't quite catch up with it. The throw comes in for Simonson off of Lima. Mendonça. Ahead for Griffin, now back for Mendonça. Friars trying to get something going in transition, but breaking it up was Einar Lai. DeVoe has it touched out by Julo. As he will leave it for Roman. Christopher Roman has Griffin. Griffin trying to wiggle out of trouble as it's headed back by Attila Ashrafi, who's checked in at the break. Mendonça chopped down, but it gives the Friars a pretty good spot for a free kick. About 2.5 minutes into the second half. Take another look at the last foul. Mendonça setting up, clipped from behind by Ashrafi, a freshman from Cologne, Germany. And this, of course, is Serrano territory. St. John's trying to hold that space in between the PK spot and the top of the box. DeVoke trying to push the limits. Here comes the kick from Serrano towards the near post, and DeVoke got a touch to it but played it wide. Friars clamoring for a corner kick, and the referee will oblige. The AR initially had it as a goal kick, but overruled by the center official. As DeVoke able to glance it off the defender. Friars thinking possible short option, but instead it looks like Serrano will take this corner from the near side. Nope, he's going to go short. Comes back for Serrano into the 18. Sky high towards the PK spot off of Lima. Chance for DeVoke. Lima the shot to score! Paulo Lima does it again for the Friars. Hammers it home with the right foot, and Providence leads this one 1-0. Paulo Lima's team-leading sixth goal of the season. Another brilliant strike from the talented sophomore. Ball came off his back, was unable to be cleared out by Julo, and then Lima, through traffic, past Holfner, puts Providence on top 1-0. A 50th minute goal, the difference right now. We'll take one more look. Of course, our outstanding crew here on the Big East Digital Network providing you these wonderful shots. And there's a wonderful shot for the Friars as Lima blasts it home into the back of the net for his sixth goal of the year. And his coach saying he could do things that other players simply can't. Another example there. As it clambered off his back, trailed down onto his foot, and was able to hammer it in. So now St. John's is going to have to try to flip the switch here and turn things up on the offensive end as Mendonça is pulled from behind by Ashrafi, but the advantage continues. Well played by the official that time, allowing for the advantage. Mendonça now leaves it ahead. Christopher Roman in the corner. Plays it across off the foot of Chandler. Griffin trying to settle, and it's going to be Julo. Mendonça now leaving it back for Roman. Was able to stay on sides. Roman gaining the end line and off of the defender Bustamante. And another corner kick. The Friars feeling it here right now on senior night. Getting set for yet another corner, their fourth of the game. And it looks like Trevor DeVoke will leave it in the corner for Serrano to come up and take this one. Last time they did go short. Friars love to work that near side corner when they can. Of course, Serrano with a nasty bending ball when he wants. Puts it up across, and Holfner able to knock it away. Second attempt, headed off the defensive line that time by Bustamante as it had gotten past Holfner. The Friars aggressive here to start the second half. Now in transition, there's Isaiah Crawford. Simonson loses the handle. And Lima will go all the way back for Avisa. Some pressure from Olawashai. And one in the air by Duarte. Serrano has the safe answer of Kevin Vang. Vang ahead for Griffin. Leaving it wide for Roman, and just a touch in front of him as he tried to work it on the near sideline. Going back to just a few moments ago, the corner kick by the Friars. Holfner then played back in and off the line there by Bustamante, who was in the prime spot to save St. John's and keep this one at just a 1-0 margin. Simonson, Olawashai couldn't win it. Lima for Mendonça. Mendonça trying to flick it ahead, but flicks it right out of bounds for another St. John's throw. Skage Simonson trying to work it back. And across it comes. Julo as it knocked aside by Roman. St. John's desperately trying to figure out some kind of combination here against the Friars. They've been at a loss for most of this game. How to solve this Providence midfield and defense. One in the air that time by Chandler. Or excuse me, that was Knapp. Crawford with some space, decides to put it on net. Up and over the crossbar. Visa that time on his line, no trouble there. That'll be the fourth shot of the match for the Red Storm. And the Friars have basically been St. John's kryptonite for the better part of the last decade. 10 years since St. John's has been able to knock off Providence, even though they own a 28-4 record all time. One in the air by Simonson. Mendonça, though, the second ball, and now Roman. Roman trying to get around Julo. DeVoe trying to turn the corner on Bustamante. And Mendonça in tight quarters. Simonson now working that sideline as well. DeVoe heads it on. Mendonça now for Vang. Vang settles. But has it stripped away by Ashrafi. And now Knapp will send it forward. Olawashai. Missed touch by him. It's been a tough evening for St. John's leading scorer. Avisa coming out of the box to play that one. Lima has it knocked away by Ashrafi. Ashrafi now up ahead into the midfield. Trying to go centrally, nobody home. Espen Wolf turns it the other way for Trevor DeVoe. Back it comes for Serrano. Has Wolf on the run, but Lai's going to be able to get there first. He'll use Holfner. DeVoe trying to settle, and he does. Leaves it back for Serrano. He'll be put under. Kawasmi wisely turns it back the other way for Serrano as Olawashai took away his option for Avisa. Griffin now has players wide, able to find Roman. Roman with time and space, top of the box, cuts it back. The left-footed shot, save made by Holfner. And DeVoe will track it down. And DeVoe gets hacked from behind, goes down. And Bustamante kicking his foot out there. Not a whole heck of a lot different than what we saw when Mendonça was carded. In fact, that one looked worse. Take another look at this chop down by Bustamante. Actually, we'll take a look at the shot from Christopher Roman. Nice cut back towards the middle, and Holfner, nice job to redirect that out of harm's way. Pretty much figured he wasn't going to be able to hold on. As DeVoe a little bit gimpy after that last challenge from Rafael Bustamante. But it will be a free kick for the Friars. Serrano will take it. Basically a little bit better than a corner kick here for Providence. Serrano lines it up towards the net, and Holfner forced to make a save on it. As Serrano tried to bend it in that near pipe. Roman chopped down by Ashrafi, and another foul on St. John's. They've just looked a little touch out of sync, a little bit slower than usual tonight for whatever reason. This time, the quick cutback. And Ashrafi and Duarte both there to take down. Friars looking for a quick restart here. Danny Griffin. Espen Wolf now plays it across. Popped up in the air. Chandler and Holfner collides with DeVoe, whose frustrating night continues as he was run over by the St. John's netminder. And a little extra. Again, Holfner's been very vocal with his displeasure of DeVoe tonight. No love lost between those two. Here's another look at the play. Holfner coming out, making a play on it, just runs right through DeVoe. I usually see that get called. As Holfner well within his rights to make a play on that ball. Here it comes down into the corner. Julo couldn't quite get there. And we're going to see, they're going to say corner here? No, St. John's was clamoring for a corner. Instead, it's going to go to the Friars. So it'll be a goal kick upcoming here for Austin Avisa and the Friars. Already over 12 minutes gone here in the second half. So far the difference, a 50th minute goal from Paulo Lima, his 6th of the season. Has had the flair for the dramatic this season for sure. Now both teams getting a little bit more vocal out there, realizing the importance of the remaining time. St. John's will opt to have Julo throw this one. And he'll be moved back a little bit more. And at this point, St. John's wasting its own time. And Malcolm Duncan able to turn it back. Roman back for Duncan, who just sends it out of play. Another throw-in upcoming here for St. John's. With 32 to play in the second half. Lima gets out of trouble. Now we'll leave it wide for Serrano. Tried to connect on the through ball for Vang, but intercepted by Asrafi. Into the box it comes. Kawasmi, but right to Olawashai. Don't want to give him any space if you're Providence. Mendonça trying to track it down. And now the safe answer from Kawasmi, out of play for a Providence throw. Things getting a little nervy there for a few moments, as Olawashai looked like he was going to have some space to get one off. Friars able to close in on him quickly. Here's the throw from Roman. Off the head that time of Ashrafi. Danny Griffin able to outmuscle Ashrafi, and now leave it back for Serrano. Serrano trying to connect with Espen Wolf, but a little bit too much behind that one. Duarte will send it back in play for Einar Lai, who's been relatively quiet tonight. Duarte now will take his space, trying to get around Lima. Leaves it off for Crawford, and a nice challenge that time from João Serrano to halt the St. John's attack. Lai trying to work with Duarte. Into the 18 it comes, on the far post, but sent up. Battle for the ball that time, and Skage Simonsen, the immovable Skage Simonsen, getting called for the interference with Austin Avisa that time. It's time to send it down once again to Ashley Leotis, who's standing by with another update.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, we talked a lot about the lack of offense production, but I want to talk a little bit about on the defensive side. That's thanks to Providence defensive side, specifically Ramsey Kawasmi. We've heard a lot about him. You know, we've mentioned his name a lot throughout this broadcast. He was actually the defensive player of the week this week. The sophomore helping the Friars to hold Xavier last game to only 3 shots, 2 of them on goal for their win on Saturday. He also scored that game winner in the 88th minute, ultimately leading to that, clinching that number 3 seed in the postseason and home field advantage for that first round of the tournament this Saturday.
Yeah, Kawasmi certainly a big part of the Providence defensive success this season, and having another good night so far here this evening. Counterattack now, Einar Lai has it disrupted by Serrano, and now Kevin Vang. Oh, tough pass that time, though, by Serrano. Lai able to step up, leaves it back for Bustamante. Back out wide for the captain, Duarte. Simonsen and Olawashai connect back for Duarte. Broken up, though, by Kawasmi, who we were just talking about. Again, very active on both ends of the field today. Serrano, soft header for Lima. And Mendonça will leave it for Serrano. Espen Wolf As the Friars more than content to work it through the back line, something they're very comfortable, no matter what the score, but especially with the lead. Wide it comes now for Duncan. His pass blocked that time by Josiah Crawford. And the Friars getting ready to make a change here in the second half. The first team to make any kind of change, as Gil Santos will return to the field. And it looks like it'll be Thiago Mendonça getting a rest for now with 28 minutes to go here in the second half. So again, super productive minutes out of Mendonça. The Friars about 28 minutes away from pulling off the upset over the 8th-ranked Red Storm. Deep it goes into the corner. Santos the header for DeVoke. Played back by Chandler. Holfner's going to have to hurry. Lima, the only one there, has a glance off his head the wrong direction, but over to Duncan. Settled now by Julo. Santos coming back with the pressure, and Kawasmi there to lay it wide for Duncan. He's quickly put under, but it'll be a Providence throw. Roman surveying the scene once again. Chucks it up ahead, the long toss, but never came into play, so it'll go over to St. John's. Lima able to win the first ball. Vang leaves it back for Serrano, and now Kawasmi challenged by Crawford. Duncan able to accelerate past a couple of Johnnies. And now back the other way, though, is Crawford. Into the 18 it comes. Oluwaseyi off his head, but Aviza there for the Friars. You could see when St. John's gets going how quickly they could produce a dangerous opportunity in the attacking third. Especially with the talents of Oluwaseyi, Crawford up top, Simonson as well. Low kick by Aviza. Seen a couple of those here tonight. Miss hit by the Friars, who've gotten a little sloppy in the last 90 seconds or so. Far side now, Vang trying to get around Lai. He'll use Wolf. Duarte can't seal him off on the sideline, and now Wolf with some space. Friars on the counter. Gil Santos pops it into the 18. DeVoke there, the head, and in on Holfner, who makes the save. And Holfner running into DeVoke. And now the clock will stop with 25:36 as Holfner's going to milk this one for all it's worth. As him and DeVoke have been going at it all game long, the gamesmanship on both sides. The talking to Holfner from the official. Here's another look. DeVoke the header, Holfner the save, and both players getting up quickly. And oh yeah, I mean, Holfner just bull rushes him and knocks him over. And how Holfner hasn't picked up a card is a bit curious at best. DeVoke was literally just standing there and got absolutely run over by Holfner. So St. John's now trying to mount an attack. Lima there to turn it back the other way. Perhaps it's just part of the frustration for St. John's tonight, as they haven't really been able to get much going in terms of offense and have been outplayed for the majority of this game by the Friars, who've come in with a little bit more pep in their step. DeVoke now. I'll leave it off for Roman. Has Santos wide open on the far side. Uses Griffin in the middle. If he can get around Simonson, he'll lay it off for Wolf. Wolf into the 18, cleared away by Chandler, and further away by Crawford. Wolf now will set up on the far side. And we'll use it back for Serrano. Into the box it comes. Holfner the scoop. Barks out a couple of orders. And he has just been the portrait of frustration tonight, has been Jan Holfner. That's the opening minutes. Bustamante will take some space towards the near side, trying to pop it over Roman, and does so. Nice ball into the corner. But offsides on the play was Julo. Doesn't take away from the nice touch on the pass from Bustamante, but waited a hair too long. Julo getting behind the defensive line. Let's take a look there at Jan Hofner. Very lucky not to be booked tonight. Hofner with 4 saves on the evening. Getting the rare full game this evening. They've been splitting with Luka Gavrin pretty much all season long. Here's Julo trying to pop it forward. Malcolm Duncan, turn it the other way. Santos looking for Griffin, but it's Simonson who can't get around Lima. Lima will leave it back for Serrano. Vang now. And St. John's back the other way. Crawford plays it forward, but not sure where he's looking to go with that one, as Avisa will have some time to waste now in the box. Instead, he'll roll it out for Duncan. Approaching the midway point of the second half. 1-0 Friars. It was Paulo Lima in the 50th minute. Team leading 6th goal of the year. The sophomore has really come on, especially in Big East play. And talking with Coach Craig Stewart earlier today and talking about potential X factors, you know, on a senior night, you often see seniors step up, but he was more interested to see how some of the underclassmen would come up tonight. So a couple of subs in now for Providence. Davis Smith, Thiago Mendonça in, Vang and DeVoke out. Coming out for St. John's was Josiah Crawford. And I'll get you that St. John's sub in a moment. St. John's trying to figure out some kind of combination of players to solve this Providence defense. It looks like they've brought in Drew Rosen, the sophomore from New York City, as a replacement in for Crawford. And tough hit that time from Duarte, easily handled by Griffin. He'll hold for Wolf. Davis Smith giving chase, but that one will trickle out of bounds for St. John's throw. Quickly tossed in for Simonson, who has it robbed by Lima. Lima. Santos back for Griffin. He's going to be put under by Simonson. Serrano able to lift it forward, but sent right back the other way by Lai. Griffin will switch the point of attack for Mendonça. Duncan chips it on back over for Mendonça. And now up ahead for Smith. Smith was freed up for just a moment. Had to do all he could just to keep a handle on that one. Serrano now joins the attack towards the 18, awayed by Chandler. Drew Rosen. And now for Simonson. Olawashai let it go. Duncan able to get there first. Turns the corner on Julo. Nice ball for Santos, who let it ride. That's Raffi there to leave it back for Knapp. Brandon Knapp now will take his space through the middle of the field. Just over 20 minutes left here in the second half. Glad you could join us here on the Big East Digital Network. Presented by SoFi. They'll work it through Bustamante. Ahead it comes now, Rosen. Julo. And finally, St. John's able to connect a couple of passes and maintain possession. Friars sagging back a little bit defensively here. Einar Lai finds the open man in Ashrafi. Ahead for Simonson. Puts the shot towards the net, and that one rising above the crossbar. On one of the better buildups for St. John's in this game. Connected probably 10, 11 passes and worked it from sideline to sideline before getting that shot from Skage Simonson. Big right-footed blast, but a rising shot up and over the net. Avisa. Will knock it back in play here for the Friars. Davis Smith flicks it off his shoulder. Back across for Knapp. Duarte. I'll leave it off once again. Knapp will switch the point of attack for Bustamante. Santos charging back on him. Big collision, and we're going to get a quick foul on Santos. Bustamante will line this one up. Shots even at 6 apiece, but the Friars leading in shots on goal, 5-2. And they're going to move Danny Griffin back a hair. The whistle blows as we wait the kick from Bustamante. A low kick. Simonson, the initial touch, couldn't get the turning shot. Stepping up. They'll knock it away. Lima now for Mendonça. Friars on the counter. Griffin an opportunity, but Bustamante just a step in front. Knocks it towards the far side where it's collected by Drew Rosen. Now once again on the foot of Bustamante. Left foots it up ahead for Rosen, but Serrano there for the Friars. Friars looking for a handball, not going to get it as Einar Lai continues. Simonson wants to unload the shot. Mendonça clips him from behind. And it sets up another free kick opportunity for St. John's in a pretty good spot near the center of the field, about 25 yards out. With 17 minutes to go. As Simonson able to draw the contact foul with Mendonça. And it looks like Lai will step up to take this one. The 10 yards has been marked by the official. Magic spray out to mark the line. Einar Lai. Another one of those Norwegian players for head coach Dr. Dave Mazur. Lai getting set, puts it towards the net, and Avisa comes up with a save. That one right on target, bending around the wall. And interestingly enough, they're going to say that it just went wide without Avisa touching it. We'll take another look. It sure looked like Avisa got a piece of that one, but they're going to say, I guess it hit off the post. Either way, a nice bid from Einar Lai, the sophomore from Norway. Nearly drew his club level here. We are now under 16 minutes to play. Mendonça ahead for Santos. Santos trying to turn a corner but runs out of real estate. That'll be another St. John's throw-in. Julo tosses it up ahead. Roman there for Mendonça. Santos back for Mendonça. Mendonça trying to get inside position. Gets around Lai towards the top of the box, puts it on frame, but Holfner there once again. Quick rollout now for Knapp. Lai in the middle of the field. Leaves it for Duarte. All the way back for Knapp. St. John's slowly controlling more possession here in the last 10 minutes or so. Wide it goes for Knapp. Plays it up towards the box. Oluwaseyi for Lai. Now over for Rosen. Rosen with a little bit of space. We'll leave it off for Lai. Nowhere to go. Decides to go for Bustamante. Leaves it off for Julo into the 18. Settled by Lai and awayed by Espen Wolf. And St. John's now starting to put the pressure on the Providence back line. Got about 14 minutes and change to find the equalizer. Again, seedings for the Big East tournament have all been determined now. The result here tonight would not change that, but very important for both teams in terms of their RPI as they look ahead even past the Big East tournament and towards the big dance in a couple of weeks. St. John's would most likely be firmly in that field no matter what happens here or in the Big East tournament. As Serrano sends it forward. Comes wide for Bustamante. Roman coming up the challenge. Mendonça now will hold. Santos put under some pressure by Julo. Able to get around him, plays it forward, top of the box. Holfner out of the box now. He'll be chased by Smith and sends it up and out of play. He was looking to connect with Oluwaseyi. And we're going to have another Providence change. Santos will check out. Back in comes Kevin Vang. As Holfner forced to come out of the box that time. And now, here's Danny Griffin. Griffin spins around one. Works through four players. Back for Vang. Inside the box, Mendonça puts it across. Espen Wolf, the shot to score! What a play by the Friars, and Espen Wolf on the back door puts the home side up 2-0 with 12:45 left here in the second half. Not much Holfner can do on that one. Take a look at the development here. Mendonça, what an assist to the far post, left-footed shot from Espen Wolf. For Wolf, the freshman out of Copenhagen, Denmark, is second of the season. He gives the Friars a 2-0 lead. The 78th minute of play. Espen Wolf getting his Friar faithful fired up here. And will that be enough to knock off the 8th ranked St. John's Red Storm here tonight? Stick around and we'll find out. Friars getting goals from Paulo Lima and Espen Wolf. Holfner conceding 2 tonight. And St. John's again. Seems their kryptonite over the last 10 years has been the Providence College Friars. Winless against the Friars since 2009. Well, St. John's now will have to really turn it up. Of course, we saw the Friars score 2 goals in the final 9 minutes against Xavier on Saturday. So not out of the realm of possibility, especially with dynamic finishers like Oluwaseyi and Simonson out on the pitch. Kawasmi sends it away. Einar Lai. And Lima will knock it away. Is that bid coming across from Matt Forster, who's checked in. Bustamante sends it high and wide as well. There'll be another goal kick here for the Friars. I'll send it down to Ashley Leotis, who's standing by with another update from field level.
Hey, Mike, yeah, a quick little fun fact there about Esben. Like you said, a freshman, his second goal on the season, coming out of Denmark. Listen to this, though. His favorite team, Manchester United, favorite food, a burrito. Who knows? Maybe he had a burrito before the game. I don't know. Good stuff coming out of him with this 2-0 lead for Providence.
And thank you, Ashley. Yes, Espen Wolf certainly taking in some of the American culture. Doesn't get much better than a burrito sometimes. So under 12 to go here. Friars on the attack once again. Kevin Vang leaves it off to the middle for Lima. Lima to the corner has Wolf. Wolf with some space, stared down by Duarte. And off of Duarte for another corner kick. It'll be the 5th corner of the evening for the Friars. This one will be from the far side. And it looks like Griffin will make the slow trot on over. Serrano will hang back this time. As time ticking away here for the Red Storm. Again, it will not alter the seedings heading into the Big East tournament, but certainly will give some very positive momentum to the Friars, who have won their last 3 games. Villanova, Creighton, and Xavier. Griffin now from the far side. Lima the header, off the line again by the defense. And it was Matt Forster, the senior from England, come up with the big defensive play. Lima nearly with his second of the match. Here's Forster again. I'll leave it back for Bustamante, and now Chandler. Friars putting him under. Mendonça able to steal it away towards the 18, up towards the goal, and that one not missing by much, as Hofner was well off his line. Mendonça, a heads-up play. The Friars nearly going up 3-0. Here's the last corner kick. Lima's header. Nice hard drive, and Forster there to keep it out of the net and deny Lima his second of the night. Lima able to win it in the air. Knapp will send it on forward. Won again by the Friars' Malcolm Duncan. And now Serrano. Couldn't quite finish the connection with Griffin. Quick throw in. They're looking for Rosen that time, and Mendonça trying to settle, but instead it's going to be Einar Lai. Simonson now with some space to work with as he's tracked by Lima. Duarte leaving it back for Ashrafi. Now Bustamante. Forster trying to shake free, continues to hold. Lima able to deny him, and then Roman as well. And he'll send it in deep. Serrano able to flick that one back, and Wolf now will pop it towards the sideline and up and out of play. 8.5 to go here in the second half. 2-0 Friars. Lima in the 50th minute, Wolf in the 78th. The difference so far. It comes out to Ashrafi. He'll leave it for Bustamante. Bustamante, nice cut back. Trying to get a better angle. Lima there to break it up, and now ahead for Mendonça. Mendonça trying to touch it up ahead and is losing his footing there near midfield. And here it comes now into the 18 once again. Kawasmi fires it up ahead. Bustamante will leave it off for Ashrafi. Back across for Knapp. Furthers it along now. Duarte picked up by Wolf. And St. John's forced to go back again. Coming across, Bustamante. Around it goes now. Knapp on the far side. That's Raffi. Duarte off of Wolf. And they're going to let it ride for a corner kick as that one last touched by Wolf. So St. John's trying to press here in the closing 7 minutes. Trying to get on the board. Shots have been hard to come by for both sides. Friars with a 9-7 advantage. Total shots 8-2 though. Shots on goal in favor of Providence. From the far side, Forster. Towards the far post. Mendonça able to get a head on it. Wolf a second head. And now Griffin trying to lead the charge the other way. Nice move to get around Bustamante for the moment. Plays it up ahead. Davis Smith all the way through. And Knapp able to track it down. Hofner well out of his box. Pass across for Forster. Who's now been on both sides of the pitch since checking in a couple moments ago. Challenge one in the air by Duncan, but they're going to get him for a foul as Rosen wound up on the turf. Friars not thrilled with that one, but it gives St. John's another decent opportunity off a free kick. Last time it was Lai with a very dangerous strike and nearly had Avisa beat. That would have tied it. And now with just under 6, it'll be Forster. As the wall being set here. Time, though, ticking away for St. John's. 4-man wall here for the Friars. As Forster sends it in towards the net, up and over. Avisa had it well covered all the way. Friars will run off a little bit more time. And a substitution now for Providence, checking back in. DeVoke. Out goes Davis Smith. Good use of the clock there by Providence, as it did not have to stop since it was not under 5 minutes yet. Visa now. Will end it on forward. Mendonça flicks it onward. DeVoke the settle. Has Wolf making the run. What a ball by DeVoke. Espen Wolf into the box. Puts it on net. Hofner there to make the save and then cleared away by Forster. Danny Griffin now. Able to turn it back. Has Lima. Roman will hold. Back for Vang. Vang some space into the 18. Over for DeVoke. Had it knocked away by Duarte. Excuse me, by Lai. It was Lai checking back for St. John's. Rosen couldn't settle it, but Lima can. And the Friars will build up again through Serrano. Quickly ahead for Vang. And a mystery foul there, as apparently they're going to get him for a handball. Simonson now quickly the other way. Oluwashai, who's been almost non-existent here tonight. Fairly rare off night for the league's leading scorer. Knapp with under 4 minutes to go. Oluwashai off for Forster. Trying to get around Roman. Roman pokes it away, gaining the advantage on the sideline. Able to work in close quarters that time was Roman. Mendonça ahead for DeVoke. Nearly able to get around Knapp. Instead, it's going to be Matt Chandler. Lai now up ahead, Ashrafi. Duncan will step up and play it ahead for DeVoke. Turns it back for Griffin. Griffin looking for an option, has Mendonça. He'll square it off wide for Serrano, who's all alone on the far side with 3 minutes to go. Serrano now leaving it for Wolf. Wolf into the 18. Bustamante there to head it away. And it's going to be Simonson. Johnny's trying to get some runners up ahead. Lima able to stop that attack dead in its tracks. Fights off as Raffi as well. And now DeVoke. DeVoke trying to put it on net and lifts that one up and over the crossbar. 2.5 minutes left. Hofner trying to hurry up. Is DeVoke one of the players honored before the game as part of the Senior Day celebrations? One of 7 players. A couple of redshirt juniors, a couple of redshirt seniors, all part of the festivities before the game. Knapp will play it up ahead. Lima the settle. And now he'll send it forward. Danny Griffin couldn't quite get around Ashrafi. Knapp will send it back down for Rosen. Simonson takes his space in the middle of the field. Oluwashai puts it towards the net and doesn't need much space to get a shot off. Again, one of the most dangerous scorers in the Big East Conference. Now Austin Aviza up to the task. Christopher Roman looks like he's cramping up on the near side with 95 seconds left. He'll be helped out by Duncan as the clock will stop here. Friars looking to put the finishing touches on what will be their 6th Big East win of the season. For St. John's, it'll just be their 2nd loss in conference. Their other loss to 7th-ranked Georgetown. Georgetown came to town and really lit them up. 3-0 victory for the Hoyas. That one back on October 23rd. In what was a huge top 10 showdown between 2 Big East powers. Coach Stewart looking on. He's got to be happy with what he's seen tonight. His men have risen to the task against a very talented St. John's team and will carry some wonderful momentum heading into the postseason this weekend, where they'll be hosting Marquette on Saturday afternoon. A 12 o'clock start here in Providence. We'll have coverage right here on the Big East Digital Network presented by SoFi. Aviza ahead for Lima and off the chest of Forster. and then knocked out of play. Tristan Stoll, one of those seniors honored before the game as well. He has now entered the match to replace Roman, who cramped up. DeVoke looking for Wolf, and now we'll lay it off. DeVoke trying to get around Knapp and Duarte again, finds Wolf. Wolf chips it up ahead. DeVoke trying to keep it in, and they're going to say the foul perhaps on DeVoke. There'll be a restart here for St. John's. Hofner blasted forward, final 40 seconds. Lima, another win in the midfield. Lai put under some pressure by Mendonça, now able to find Simonson, but sneaky little touch from Kevin Vang to knock it away. And Wolf can just blast it further ahead. There's one in the air by Chandler. Griffin now. We'll lay it back for Serrano. Final 10 seconds will tick away here in Providence. Espen Wolf breaks free. And the Friars will knock off the 8th-ranked team in the nation 2-0, improving to 12-5 overall on the season, 6-3 in Big East play. St. John's falling to 13-3-1, 6-2-1 in the conference. Both teams, however, still with what they both hope is plenty of soccer yet to go here in November, perhaps into December, with the postseason just around the corner. And the Friars getting goals from Paulo Lima in the 50th minute and Espen Wolf in the 78th. We'll step aside for just a few moments before we return back to Chappie Field here at Anderson Stadium, where the Friars have knocked off St. John's 2-0. This is the Big East Digital Network, presented by SoFi.
Divine Providence. It's a reason why Providence is making that trajectory toward greatness.
If we get you on this campus and you just walk around for an hour or so, you're going to feel something that's qualitatively different.
Providence College is a place that has helped people think, thrive, and achieve. Divine Providence is right here. Open your eyes.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
And welcome back once again to Chappie Field here at Anderson Stadium in Providence, where the Friars have knocked off the 8th-ranked St. John's Red Storm 2-0 on goals from Paulo Lima and Espen Wolf. Time to send it down to Ashley Leotis, who's standing by with the Friars head coach, Craig Stewart.
Hey, Mike, lots of congratulatory phrases coming around here. I am joined now by Coach Stewart. First of all, Coach, congratulations on the win. Senior night, a big night for a lot of these seniors, but tonight it was the underclassmen kind of stepping up, making those shots on goal, getting those in for you. Tell me about those underclassmen tonight and how they were able to help you guys get it done.
Yeah, I mean, total team effort for 90 minutes, you know. That was a grind. St. John's top opponent, had a great season, obviously, today, and I'm sure they'll continue. But yeah, I think team performance. But I think on senior day, again, I think we leave it out there and we say we play for those guys, and we ask some of the younger guys to step up, and they did in some of those plays.
And Austin, of course, having tagging on another shutout on the year. But how were you guys able to kind of shut down this offense that is St. John's, especially Tani Oluwaseyi, who's one of the leading scorers in the Big East?
Yeah, no, it's again some very talented special players in that group, so I think it's just a lot of focus and commitment to the defensive side of things and individual defending, team defending, but I thought the guys did a decent job trying to keep those guys quiet.
And this matchup between you and the Red Storm dates back a while, 33 matchups in total. You guys have been able to pull away with a lot of those wins in recent years. What is it about this matchup, and how are you guys able to keep that win streak going against them?
Yeah, I don't know. I got a ton of respect for Coach Meza and the program he's run there for many, many years, and you know he's obviously won a ton of games. I think it's just the Big East. It's every game's tough, and I know we have a tough one now in a quarterfinal match. I just heard our opponent, and it's just they're all tough games. So I think nothing significant, but I just a lot of respect for their program, obviously.
Great, and another tough one coming up this weekend, I'm sure. Coach, congratulations on the win, and good luck.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Mike, let's send it back to you.
And thank you, Ashley. That was Ashley Otis with head coach Craig Stewart of the Friars, who have knocked off St. John's. So that'll pretty much do it for us here at Chappie Field in Providence. For my broadcast partner today, Ashley Leotis, and our entire hardworking Big East Digital Network crew, I'm Mike Mancuso saying good night from Providence. We'll see you on Saturday.